huge. You don't have money. What you have is your community around you. If you have 8 kids, 4 of them will survive to adulthood. You're old and decrepit at like 55. It's not they got rode hard and put away wet, but if you made it to 20, you were probably going to make it to 60 or 80. They just had high infant mortality rates, which is why the average age was low. But you get to 20, you're going to make it to 60 or 80, you're fine. But you can't work much after 55. You are, like, your joints are fucked, you've got arthritis, you're hunched over, like you've been working 12-hour days every day or you starve for 50 years, right? So, you're going to live for another 20 years, but you can't work. Your kids go out and work 12-hour days. And they're like, okay, I got a whole bunch of food from working. Dad, here you go. Mom, here, well, Dad works pretty hard too, but Mom, here you go. Now you have food because you're a woman in ancient Near Eastern society, so not a lot of earning power. B, old, not a lot of earning power. So, Dad's dead because he died early because he was like 40 when he married you at 15. Bit of an issue in our view, but you know, that was the thing they did. So he dies 30 years before you do. You got 30 years of your provider isn't giving you money, but you've got a son. He goes and works. He brings home the bacon. Well, not for the Jews, obviously, but he's the breadwinner, and he brings back food. Okay, so here's the problem. If you're a young wife, if you're 16, 20, whatever, right? So you're married. You haven't had a kid yet, but you're married. You're out of your father's house. Your husband dies. You are now too old to get married because, what, you're older than 17? Well, can't send that back to the store. You can't, I mean, you might get married again, but the odds of getting married again are real low if the pop top makes the dookie dookie noise. Yeah, not so good odds, right? So, no kids, no husband, no fucking food, right? You're young, you may be able to work in the fields, but you turn 55 eventually. No kids, no husband, you starve to death very quickly. So, the Old Testament had this thing that said, look, if your brother marries some chick and then dies, and they don't have kids, you marry her and you fuck her until she has a kid. This sounds really weird to contemporary ears, because like, wait, are you telling me that, like, bigamy is required and you have to have kids, like you have to father a child on this woman you don't love? This sounds horrifying to our ears, but in the context of the ancient Near East, right, it was, you are ensuring this woman will not starve to death. That was the whole point, right? So Onan, in this legal context, has a brother. His brother gets married, his brother has the wife, his brother fucks the wife, it doesn't take, his brother dies really young. Onan, as required by law in his society, marries his brother's wife. He's not required to love her, he's just required to feed her and make sure she has what in the ancient Near East is a retirement plan, a kid. Okay? That's his job. The thing is, for the dude, the reason it had to be a law is, I mean, all right, I got 2 wives, let's do the fucking, right? Except no, because kids take about 15 years before they stop costing you money. 15 years where you're bringing home food and not doing shit, right? So if you got a kid, and then you've got to make another kid, you're required to make another kid, all of a sudden your costs go up twice. Maybe you aren't totally sure you have the money to afford feeding both your kids, so now your own kid that you wanted, and this second kid you're required to have by law. I'm sure they loved the second kid, but the reason it had to be law is, you know, they had the self-interest, like, I want to make sure my kid survives, so I want to pour money and food into this kid to make sure he makes it 18 or 15 or whatever, right? So the law required him to fuck the second wife so that she'd have a kid, so that he would pay for the kid to be raised, so that the kid would hit 10, 12, 15, so that the kid could raise goats, so that his mother wouldn't die of starvation. That was the deal. So he's like, okay, fuck. I'm near, pull out. It wasn't, I'm wanking for sexual pleasure and that is a sin, because the Bible has an entire book and several passages elsewhere where it says sexual pleasure is like totally awesome. That's why God gave you genitals with nerve clusters, you stupid assholes. problem was that he was basically stealing her pension. He was basically like, fuck you, you're going to die of starvation. I'm doing it to you on purpose because I don't want to spend the money to prevent that from happening. Granted, it was going to be a lot of money in that context. But fuck you, you're going to die of starvation because I don't feel like spending the money. So then the Bible says, and he was an asshole, and God cursed him because God is not cool with starving widows. And then some medieval theologians who didn't read the entire context got a hold of it and said, oh, he spilled the seed, that's why we can't crank one off. And that's why most people in the church think masturbation is wrong. And why Catholics have a lot of guilt issues, because guess who masturbates? Everyone. Guess who feels guilty about it? Catholics. And a lot of Protestants, especially if they're Lutheran or Methodist. Yeah, so that's why my views on human sexuality, while theologically defensible, are one of the reasons I should not be a pastor. Because I will stand up 13-year-old boys, go ahead and crank one off. God doesn't care. And then their mothers are like, oh God, the laundry basket full of socks. If the cat falls in there, it will die of blood loss. Slice. Oh God, my intestines are... I don't want to deal with that shit.
Nope.
There's an eBay review for Kleenex that actually explains it really well.
Really?
A mother's eBay review for
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I've read
yeah,
that one. Thank you, Kleenex, because if it wasn't for you, I'd be doing a lot more laundry. I couldn't walk into my son's room without cutting my foot open. Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's really funny that everyone thinks that their mom is this pure, virginal, doesn't know or think about sex thing. Because, like, she shot you out of her genitals 9 months after you shot up her genitals. She didn't just fall on a turkey baster, guys. Like, your mom had sex, probably kinky sex. Your mom's probably done anal. There are some stories about, again, stories on 4chan. Dear 4chan. I found this in my parents' bathroom. Click. KY. Does my mom have some sort of medical condition? Yes. It's called anal. Anyways, so the record of Agarest War involves 3 pink-haired people, chicks, a blonde chick, a blonde dude, and a silver-haired chick and a silver-haired dude. Continent of Lucrelia. Who the fuck? No.
Yeah.
Sacrifices everything, even his future and his children, to protect an elven girl. Who here would go, oh, a total stranger. You know what I'm going to do? Fuck my kids. Fuck my entire family. I'm going to save this elven hottie. Actually, most of you would probably. I don't think I'm going to pull the rest of that one off.
Yeah.
Is this the first one?
Yes.
Record of
Yes, it's Record of Agarest War. There's no subtitle.
Okay.
Make me an offer.
10.
It's basically a harem anime, except in an RPG form.
Yeah.
And you do breed your characters.
15,
20.
You already said 15. 20.
25,
30.
30.
35,
40.
45,
50.
60.
70.
Fuck you.
70 once, 70 twice. Sold.
Please.
Okay, Kaleido Star Complete Collection.
20.
30.
40.
They're just binging it in multiple ways.
45.
50.
What the F are they doing on the cover?
They're dancing.
They're being lesbians.
Yeah,
No,
probably.
it's a lot of just gymnastics and stuff.
It's lesbians.
Yeah.
Girls, I'm afraid if you ever took gymnastics classes, A, every dude you knew masturbated about it. B, they assumed you were being a lesbian while they did. So we were at 50 over here, I think. Yep. You want to hear 60? Once. 50 twice. Sold! Excellent choice, by the way. That is a good series.
It is. Oh my god.
Next box. We're getting close to the end. There's like, yeah. We're getting close to the end.
Really?
We haven't even got
that's good stuff.
Yeah.
God, shut up.
Shut up. It's fine.
I'm not sure I recognize it.
Placing all my shit here.
Yeah, it is Harui. Legend of Harui Suzumiya. It's
Son of a.
it's the long-haired chick and the short-haired chick.
Just start bidding.
Well, she got to wear a party hat.
The cyborg chick.
Oh, I think I remember, but I don't.
And this
I know
one
who
gets
you're
a
talking
combat
about.
knife. That's pretty cool.
Taking it.
I can't remember the name, but I know who the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
Nagato. Nagato.
Yeah, there we go.
And Ryoko.
Yeah, we got 10 here. 15, anybody? 10 once? We didn't have any 10 15?
That was okay.
20? 20 once? 20 twice? Sold for 20, thank you. Yeah, you better run.
They'll find you.
All right, Fate Stay Night.
20.
Yeah, it's the chick with the sword.
Saber.
Saber. Remember last year I was like,
Oh, yeah, 'cause-
hey, hot chick, what are you dressed as? Saber. Right.
Yeah, because you went down, up, down.
Yeah. So we have 20 for Saber. Do I hear 25? We did hear 20 for Saber, right?
Yeah, for me.
20 once, 20 twice, sold for 20. Yeah, don't clap.
We will be in 4chan.
Yeah. K-On. It's the short-haired spunky chick.
10.
Really? It's K-On. It is pretty sweet, man. Come on. It's the short-haired spunky chick from K-On, the rum player.
My stash.
And drinking tea.
What's it at right now?
10.
20.
30 once, 30 twice, sold for 30. Thank you. Oh, another K-On. It's the purple-haired chick, the younger sister, I think.
I think.
Yeah. She's all dressed up like Hoor, because that's how they make music in Japan. $5. 10. What is it? It's the purple-haired younger sister
From K-On.
from K-On. We were at 10, I think.
Yes, you were.
So